Thank you for being here. I'm LaVon Wise, fundraising coordinator for the Women's Coalition of St. Croix. Today, September 25th, 2021, is the 14th anniversary of the National Day of Remembrance for Murder Victims, a designation by the United States Congress to recognize the impact of homicides on surviving loved ones and communities. The annual National Day of Remembrance for Murder Victims gives us all the opportunity to remember those lost to homicide and honor their memories. The purpose of this event is to focus on the impact of murder on families, communities, and ways to support and serve survivors. Our theme this year is We Are Stronger Together, Stop the Violence. Visit ndrmv.vi Facebook page at ndrmv.vi to join the conversation and to view the Wall of Remembrance, a visual presentation of names of murder victims on St. Croix since 1974. Call the Women's Coalition of St. Croix at 340-773-9272 or visit our website WCSTX.org for information on free advocacy programs and services for people impacted by violence. Our community continues to be affected by the violence ending the lives of. As of today, over 600 souls have been lost on St. Croix to murder since we started this project. This year, there have been 36 homicide deaths in the territory from January to today, and 25 of those souls are from St. Croix. There are 41 missing persons, 21 of which have not been identified. Ending violence is an important aspect of the National Day of Remembrance for Murder Victims and a focus of the Women's Coalition of St. Croix's response to this serious issue. We have to work together. No one is unaffected by violence that has plagued our community. It is up to all of us to take part in creating solutions and to offer support to the surviving loved ones of the people whose lives have been taken through violence. And before I introduce our executive director, I'm supposed to tell you that the restrooms are across the bridge in the yellow building. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present Ms. Clemma Lewis, the Executive Director of the Women's Coalition of St. Croix.
Thank you. Good afternoon. LaVon said most of it. Today is our National Day of Remembrance. I started this event 14 years ago because a lot of families were coming to the Women's Coalition after their loved ones were killed. No one was listening. No one was supporting them. They wasn't getting any justice and no one cared. And I thought it was important for us to look after our own. This is our community. And if we don't look after each other and if we don't take care of each other, no one will. Let me explain something to you about death and grief. Sometimes it never goes away. People grieve at their own time and their own space. Don't tell them it was 5 years ago why they haven't gotten over it. Everybody grieves different. What you need to do is listen, support, and be there for them. Because once you lose someone, they don't go into the abyss. They're going to always be in your heart, and they're going to always be in your spirit. And remember that. And so for that, we have the National Day of Remembrance, because we want you to know we haven't forgotten your loved ones. All 600 and change just on the island of St. Croix. We have a table over there with beautiful sentimental rocks. Please go over there and pick one that fits your spirit and your heart. We have hearts that you can write the name of your loved ones on it, and at some point you can lift up the heart, or you can come up at the program at some point and speak to that. Please feel comfortable. We got water, we got refreshments, you got a bathroom. Whatever your needs are, let us know. We're here to take care of you. This is all about our families that's grieving. This is not about anybody else, and it's about how much we care. I found this poem that really touched my heart. It's real short, but I thought it was so appropriate for what our families are going through. I want you to hear these words really good. Death leaves a heartache. I have never heard anybody say they wasn't in pain after someone died. Death leaves a heartache, and no one can heal that. No one can heal that. But love leaves a memory that no one can steal. So death might have left you a heartache, but the memories of love, no one can ever take that from you, and that's important. So please relax, enjoy. You will have your time to speak on the program. Most importantly, thanks for coming out. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Ms. Lewis. And now I have the honor of introducing my queen sister, Dr. Janzira Davis Kahina.
Good afternoon. I think I'm short for this particular podium. I have to stand up a little. I'd like to ask everyone to just close your eyes for about a second and then open them right back up. This time when you close them, I want you to close and think of a space that's very tranquil, very healing, wherever that space may be. And I want you to take a very deep breath. And I'd like you to hold that breath for about 5 seconds. When you let it out, anything in that vision that isn't comfortable, blow that out. Let it go and release. Invocations are designed to be prayerful, to be meditative, to offer healing. When we speak of healing, we're also speaking of going into those places, those very sacred spaces in our soul, in our body, in our mind, in our consciousness, really in our spirit, that allows for us to keep our heart light. When we feel sorrow and anxiety and grief from loss, especially sudden loss, it makes your heart feel like it was pierced. Like we really know what it is to have a pierced heart, yeah? It's like when you're cutting vegetables, when you're cutting your vegetables or fruits to prepare something and you can hear that, see that reverberation? That's how the heart begins to feel. So when I share this particular invocation, this particular prayer, this particular word of sound power, of strength, I offer it from a space that keeps our heart very light, that allows for us to receive healing. Because if your heart isn't very light, it's very difficult for you to accept healing of any sort. And you stay in a space that doesn't allow for healing. We always give thanks and praise to our Mother, Father, Creator by all names: Jehovah, Yahweh, Oludumare, Allah, Christau, Farai, Netera, all those names of the Most High Mother, Father of creation. And we ask that our hearts remain as light as a feather in truth, in justice, in order, in reciprocity, in balance, in divine righteousness, and in harmony, regardless of the challenges that this earth journey brings to us. We ask for prayers of strength, prayers of healing, meditative energy for our families that have had sudden loss, murders, homicide, forms of terror that dismantle our very soul self. And we ask for our families right here in St. Croix and I St. Croix to be given the blessing of healing through the most treacherous, challenging forms that have harmed their very heart, their very soul. We ask for blessings in abundance of life, strength, health, wellness, prosperity for eternity for those that are still on this earth tribe, upright as the human family that we are, so that we too can heal from all of the transgressions, all of the harm and the hurt as we honor this particular day, September 25th, 2021, on this National Day of Remembrance of murder victims. We ask that every breath that is taken restores balance. We ask that every word that is shared provides medicinal healing. We ask most Almighty Mother, Father, Creator, by all names, for guidance, so that we too can heal our very body, our very mind, our very soul, our very spirit, our very consciousness, our very essence. In all these things we ask. Some say amen, and some say amen. See how we can heal together just from a simple breath? And that's the energy we're hoping to be able to keep, because there will be tears shed, inside as well as outside. So we're asking for that energy, for that love that has been referenced right here, to stand supreme. And keep in mind that for every single person that is here, each one of us represents thousands upon thousands. Recognize that. So we're here as the representation of, yes, St. Croix, the wider Virgin Islands, but we represent all of humanity that want to stop the violence and increase peace. Give thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Shinzera. Now I would like to introduce Shada Martinez for a poetry reading.
Good afternoon, I'm Shada Martinez, and today I'll be reading you a poem called The Sacrificial Lambs of Violence. Senseless slaughter of the innocent in the land of life and liberty, a country of brotherly love, a melting pot of diversity and acceptance. Murder wreaks havoc in the land of plenty, lives taken at the blink of an eye, and I once looking far and forward to achieving the American dream. Violence is winning, while young boys and innocent girls are losing, no longer free to pursue goals. Cheated by an early fate of death, the cruel sacrifice a mother makes losing her innocent lamb. Off to school, to the corner store, a playground, or even a movie theater. My heart bleeds tears of sorrow as I hear this latest news. Another slain victim, sacrificed again as violence lives on. Thank you.
That was amazing. Youth, it's beautiful, so powerful. Now we are in for a very special moment that we've never had before. I want to thank Mrs. Ada Almestica Franco, Peggy Franco, Shada Martinez, and the Women's Coalition volunteers to unveil and present the new memorial quilt for the National Day of Remembrance for Murder Victims, St. Croix. And then Dr. Janzira Davis Kahina is going to bless the quilt.
Good afternoon to all. My name is Aida Almestica Franco, and just wanted to give you a little story before we, unveil. So my sister passed away a couple years ago and in Louisiana. So when we went there, one of the days we were invited to a park, and I saw a quilt that forever, impacted me. The quilt had over 5,000 names of just young children from 17 to 0 murdered. And I thought to myself, I would love to do something like this, for my home. And I had a dream, and it's like, because it was a lot of work. This quilt took months, tears, frustration, but in the end, I hope you like it.
You need to come.
In this quilt is over 600 names of murdered victims from 1999 to present. I hope that watching and this quilt tugs your heart. It made me cry lots of times, reading these names of school friends, family members, people from our community, over 600 lost souls. Here it is.
Mother, Father, Creator of all, we ask for blessings for the family, the friends, our community, of every single person listed on this most beloved, most well-sacrificed quilt. We ask for guided blessings so that by all who see this quilt, all that read these names, all that remember their family, their friends, their loved ones, and even those they may have never met, that they are guided to increase love, increase harmony, so that we can authentically stop the violence, so that we can authentically stop bleeding in this community of, I think, Croix. We're asking for your guidance, Almighty, so that we do not move in anger, hate, and rage from what we are reading, what we are seeing, what we are witnessing, what we have experienced. And we're asking to keep our heart light. And we're asking for your guided meditations so that we can honor one another and begin to see the divinity in each and every one of us beyond differences, so that we can heal, authentically heal. Everyone is encouraged to look at these names on this quilt and remember that every single name on this quilt impacts and affects every single one of us for generations upon generations upon generations upon generations. And we ask Most High, Mother, Father, Creator, to give us the strength and to have mercy. Amen. Amen. We're going to have a moment of silence and just take that deep breath and stay in that healing space.
So I would like to,
Can we please offer words of strength and a very robust round of applause to Sister Queen Aida Almestica Franco and all who helped make this quilt, please?
so I just want to bring up Shalea Namara Jr., my husband, Toscani, and we have my daughter Shaida and my sister-in-law Peggy. They all help make this possible, and a very, very, very special thank you. I want to bring up Crystal from Jolly Rogers. Without her, this would not be possible.
You rock.
Thank you. And thank you too for my family for all the nagging and you know, but this meant the world to me to offer this to my community and let you all know that you're not alone. We feel your pain, and I hope that you all, you know, would appreciate it like it.
We do. We appreciate you. We appreciate you.
After. Okay. Thank you. And this quilt will be donated to the Women's Coalition of St. Croix.
I just want to On behalf of the Women's Coalition, this is so amazing. I'm so emotional. I'm trying to hold it together. This quilt will be displayed in our brand new building that will be opening in a month. And one of the whole walls is going to be dedicated to all the lives that have been lost in this community. Mr. Mastica, I don't know how to say thank you. Thank you. You and your family. You too, Ms. Franco. Thank you both.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Hand it to Ms. Clement. This is yours. Ms. Clement, this is for you.
Thank you. Now I'd like to call Peggy Franco for a poetry reading, please.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out. And I always say, even though they're gone, but they're not forgotten. And this is my poem called My Memory. You took away my innocence, my hopes, my dreams, my youth. You took from me my very soul. What could have been, I never knew. Your words cut deep inside, deep to the very core. Darkness, cold, I could not feel. Why did you hate me so? You crushed me as I screamed in pain. Your words ripped out my heart. The world grew dull. I felt insane. Did you ever care about that part? Is that what you wanted all along? I win, you lose a game. Control, submission, guilt, defeat. Yet I still will remain. It was for my loved ones what I lived, although I would have rather died. Now, how I thank God for my loved ones. Because of them, my memory will survive. A new dawn, a new place of happiness and grace. For me, these things you cannot take. My head held high, my memory will live forever through the ends of time. Together, we stronger. We need to stop the violence.
Thank you. And now we invite you, open mic, speak out, and reflections. This is your opportunity to express how you feel. Before we do that, I want to just do some special thank yous, and y'all can start coming up. I want to thank, for the memorial quilt, Mrs. Ida Almestica Franco, Shaida Martinez, Peggy Franco, Toscani Franco, Namara Allen, Rasheen Allen Jr., and Shalea Hernandez. Yes. The memorial quilt sponsors Divine Funeral Home, James Funeral Home, and Jolly Rogers. Special thank you to Selectress Empress I and Selectress CC Flava of Alkebulan, Empress Sounds, and again, Ms. Almestica Franco and her family. The United States Virgin Islands Department of Agriculture, the United States Virgin Islands Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault Council, the United States Virgin Islands Police Department, the United States Virgin Islands Department of Health, the Women's Coalition of St. Croix staff, my sisters, and the National Day of Remembrance for Murder Victims Committee. We do this every year, and it doesn't get easier.
Good afternoon, one and all. My name is Caroline Saki Lawrence, and next week, Wednesday, September 29th, would have been my son's Vincent's birthday. He was 19 years when he got murdered on October 5th, 1 week after. And I must say, you're right, it doesn't get easier. It does not. But I must say that I am surrounded by the Saki family who have always been there for me, and my fellow members of the Virgin Islands Army National Guard, which I'm so proud of. And I must say, Miss Shelene Gums, she has not been calling me lately to check on me, but I did get my phone calls. Miss Lawrence, are you okay? So shout out to the Women's Coalition. You have been there for me and for others. And I want to publicly thank you for all that you have done. Every time someone gets murdered, it's like a wound. That wound opens up over and over again. So I don't have time to heal, but I'm going to be there for others because this is my 20th year of sorrow. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm so lost for words. Okay. I just came in, but I learned about this program here today, and I couldn't have missed it. I cannot say I know how y'all feel because I have not lost none of my sons. But I raised 3 sons here in St. Croix, Virgin Islands and St. Thomas. And when mothers hurt, I hurt too because I'm a mother, and even if you're not a mother, you have to hurt. Because this is a hurting feeling. Now I'm representing me, my business, Juicy Juice Apparels, and I am representing the community of the arts and academics of the Virgin Islands that I just joined board of directors, where I'm going to be helping and dealing with the community's children. So I know eventually I am going to come up against children that have lost loved ones. And I still need to know what to tell them. And I would love to learn. As a matter of fact, the nonprofit organization now is going to be sending us to classes like to Miss Lois and different organizations that we can know what's really going on here in the community. And it will be a really great experience for me. And even though these young men, young women, adults have died here in the Virgin Islands. Most of them were my students because I drove school bus here in St. Croix for over 9 years. So I know them. And I know them personally. So it hurts. It hurts. I expected that when I come out here today to see this place full. Now I could count on my fingers of people here that saying that they're hurting. It should be the whole community out here. And I'm not seeing that. And that's why we're not getting anywhere, because not even the officials are here. Where are the senators? Where are the high officials that's supposed to be here today representing and seeing the hurting parents and children here today? Where are they? Where are they? It starts from them too. And if they're not here to support us, why are we voting them in? Where are the senators? I see not one of them here. If you're here, say, I am here. Represent yourself. That's none. That's sad. We have young ones here sitting down listening to all of this. It might not make sense to them now, but it's going to make sense to them a little later. Like, who are we voting in to support us? I am speaking from the heart. This is just coming out because this is what the Lord advised me to say. It hurts. I come to represent me. And why? Because I have 3 sons still here in the Virgin Islands. Today for you, but tomorrow might be for me. Because sometimes they're not doing any wrong, but they're just at the wrong place at the wrong time. It could be us here today. We do not know our number, but our number must be called one day. But hopefully it's not when for these kind of things that's happening here in the Virgin Islands. So I still say applaud to you today, that all who is here, I am happy to see you. And I thank God for you. And I thank God to see you on your way out. God bless the Virgin Islands. We need it. We need prayers here, back in the Virgin Islands. We need it. My condolences to all who lost their sons and their family members, their daughters and their moms and their dads. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but this got to change. We got to make sure that they put the guns down. Put it down. You're hurting people every single day. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, greetings everyone. My name is Aisata. It's my husband, Prophet Julian, and my little princess, Tinkara. I'm here representing my sister, Mona, Shimona Kassen. I want to tell a little story about my nephew. His name is Tintawe Christian. He was 16 years old. Last year, on Marcus Garvey's birthday, he was just in his neighborhood with his friends, doing what youths just do, walking from one friend's house to the next. I live Sign Hill, and I hear a barrage of shot. And when I say shot, I mean high power, military grade shots. Me ain't study nothing because I called to make sure they was home and my son they home. So all I said to myself is, what? Somebody you get killed. Lay while after my sister called me crying, saying a shooting Tawi. Ain't register in my brain. Right? That my nephew get. I saying shut okay, me ain't thinking nothing. I drive in my car, reach side farm, and let me tell her something. To reach from where I was parked up to where my nephew was laying down on the ground, I walk over maybe 100 and something shell casing. Long saw. You hear what I'm telling you? I slipping and sliding and shell casing. Not knowing a shell casing I walking on because I so focused on he. I see my nephew laying down in the ground and side farm. Right? Me and see bleeding. My mind can't comprehend and ain't catch on. It take a long to catch on that you dead. Because me ain't see no blood. Because me never see a murder victim before. But I see me there laying down peaceful. And I want to know, but why me ain't see no blood? But then I see a hole up here. Flesh alone. And I like, but what? This youth ain't bleeding. Me ain't comprehending the youth dead or no. You check? Until I see they put a sheet over him. But then my mind start to play tricks on me because the wind moving the sheet. So I telling the people, but the youth breathing. The sheet moving. You check? Come to find out, he and his friend walking. Bunch of little troublesome youth getting something with somebody that ain't got nothing to do with he. That man come inside from to look for the troublesome youth. They see who they're looking for. But any little youth walking inside farm is fair game. So the man open their car, not fear for police or nothing, come out, and they riddle a barrage a shot after the youth. Right? My nephew friend tell him, run. So he asked her, like, run for what? Me and nobody ain't got nothing. You check? So the bullet went up through his thigh, bust up the hole inside, and come out his shoulder. My nephew, Tintawe Christian. My sister worked 2 jobs to take care of her chair and them. You hear? He wasn't on no street. He wasn't no troublemaker. You hear what I tell you? Good youth on a roll. Go school every day. Manners and respect. I could call him and put him in his place for not cleaning his room. And you know what he does say? Yes, auntie. Not a stupid, a vex face, nothing. Not a jealous youth. You hear? My sister only son. You hear what I'm telling I am up to this day. St. Croix, everybody doing so. It's so and so and so. Right? But nobody get arrested for that youth murder. You check? My sister had to hold his picture and walk up at Central High Stage to receive his diploma. And a roll student. Today is his birthday, he make 18. And we got to put R.I.P. behind his name. Fireborn. Non-partial. You check I say? I don't watch no face in this community. You know why? Because everybody knows something, and the thing is, right? A lot of people right in the community, a lot that work in government, and they so-called, in their mind is highty-tighty, and they cheer on them, right? Running this community ragged, right? And if it's they use them, they go want blood or no, right? But then they're going along, right? Like they're so good because what they don't work for the government or they high official places. When they son them, terrorizing this whole community. Tell me where these youth get AR-15 from. I know what an AR-15? A high-power military grade. You hear? Machine gun. You hear? So when you put your finger on the trigger, everything running out of that clip. You hear what I'm telling you? Yeah. See my hand shaking because you check? Just to watch my sister, who don't work so hard. She don't trouble nobody. She don't go to work and come home. Mona is an Irish girl. And the pain that I feeling is because don't care what I tell she, I can't give she back her only son. And don't care how I feel, I got my son still. I could call my son. And she can't do it. And all my nephew wanted to do was graduate from 12. I know why? Because he said that was his payback to his mother for taking care of he. He wanted to give she his 12th grade diploma. You hear what I'm telling you? And that you'd never get to do it. You check? Tintawe Christian is his name. You check? And people know where these kind of weapon coming in from. You check? And all of them turning a blind eye. You hear what I'm telling you? You hear what I'm telling you? Ain't no way these kind of weaponry, right, supposed to be in the hands of these little persons that raw. And I tell you, it's a bunch of youth to know. You check? A bunch of youth to know. Right? So I voiced my opinion, and some of them vexed with me because I voiced my opinion because they don't want you to talk about their children and the bad ways, right? And the children and the dirty deeds, right? Because guess what? They're picking up for the youth and because they ain't care, because ain't their youth. Their youth is the one terrorizing communities. You check I saying? Ain't no way, right? Our community is supposed to be just like, yeah. And you guys like, don't want us a thing with some wah. And then it's just, everybody just gone back into their own self. We're supposed to be ratted for our youth. They were guys slain like this, dog in the street, and good youth. A lot of people said they youth good, but I could vote for my nephew. You check I saying? I could vote for he. You check? He was a good youth, decent youth, hard-working youth, love people, love friends, love family, manners and respect. You check? Yeah. So I said earthquake and the wicked them. You check? I said non-partial, the Almighty Creator don't slumber nor sleep. You check? You check? And as long as I got my being, you hear? I gonna be the David that slay Goliath for my nephew. You check? What song is power? You check? Non-partial. Tintawe Christian shall never be forgotten, and his blood not go run in vain. Not that youth there. That's a good youth. You check? Yeah.
So the sister that came on before us, she was saying that, Juicy, right? Yeah. She was saying that none of the elected officials in here, you know? And I'm going to say this, right? In a community, the officials that run a community is what the community deserves. Whether you like it or not. Because if it's not what the community deserves, these officials won't be in power. And if you put them in power and they ain't doing what they're supposed to do, you're going to take them out. So, whatever you all want to say, you know, this community is responsible for raising gangsters. Because we have gangsters as the governor, we have gangsters as senators, we have gangsters as commissioners, we have gangsters as attorneys, we have gangsters as doctors, we have gangsters in every position in this community. And we have gangsters on the street. We have gangsters in the police department. This community is responsible for raising gangsters. Otherwise, this community wouldn't accept what's going on within this community. You see it? And it's all left to our minds, our mindset. It's been a long time coming that we have been raising these gangsters because we have been educated by a gangster system which teach us not to love family and not to love ourselves. To hold on to your family, right? You have to go in a secure space out of this community, within your mind. You can't have the same mindset as the community if you want to hold on to your little family in your little space. Whether you like what I'm saying or not, but it's a reality. Because look how much people they here mourning for the children, and nobody else as government officially in the here, because they don't care about this community. They care about them and they friend them. Because if you notice, right, when a person is not a senator anymore, they put them in another big position. So they just shuffle them around. If you lose being a senator this year, you don't got to worry. Because they're going to give you a next big job to take care of you. You know, it's a ridiculous situation, but I want to go back to the majority of people's mind is what allowed this to keep on happening. Because when something like this happens, right, I don't see the community go and throw no stones on the senator them glass window. I don't see that happening. I don't see the stone the governor in the public square. I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening. I don't. When the governor do something that he ain't supposed to do, and I know it ain't right, I just sit down and take it. Look at that senator went out in a public place to some party, right? And they're still investigating what happened. What's the investigation about? Huh? What is it? What are they investigating? Huh? They have to sit down so long to decide what they're going to do about this senator. And believe it or not, right? Nothing ain't going to be done. And what are you going to do and the rest of the community? Just vote him back in the next time? This particular senator, I spoke to him, I think, maybe 4 years ago. He had just get, the time when he just get into the Senate. You know, I went to St. Thomas. I used to be in St. Thomas a lot before COVID. So I spoke to this senator personally. So I asked him, well, you know, you just get in the Senate. So you realize, right, that our children need to be taught about themselves in the school system from the time they get into school. He said, why I say that? But education is no good unless you have education about yourself, right? And who you are and who you're supposed to be. I don't care how much education you have. The role that you're going to play within your community is based on what you know about yourself and your community and what happened in the past within your community. Otherwise, you're going to just be another puppet for the system that keeps on destroying this little community that we live in. So, today, as my empress said, is Tintawe board. I remember the day, right? It was August 17th. We been home and she get his phone call. And from the time she get the phone call, you know, I hoping for the best. But my stomach started to hurt me. So I know when we reach over there, it ain't gonna be nothing nice. I know it, you know. I hoping that we reach over there, we're gonna still see this youth alive. Shot, yes, but still see him. But the way how my stomach hurt me from the time she get this phone call, she tell me, Mona said in town, we get shot inside her farm. You know. I didn't want to tell her that it ain't gonna be good because I still hoping that I wrong. But I know within myself that I wasn't wrong because the feeling that I had within my stomach, I know the youth pass. Because it have happened to me in situations when tragedies happen and it's the same feeling I had. I know the youth won't hear anymore. But I couldn't tell her. But when I reached there, you know, I know it was the reality. And as she said, you know, we ain't got to make up nothing about this youth because I just be at my store and this youth would pass by and me instead of see me just coming to heal me. Just to make sure I'm all right. You know, that's just how he is. You know, because we got to remember each other like how we know them still, eh? So, you know, as I said, the community, right, is responsible for the gangsters that we're raising. And the day from the top to the bottom. The gangster on the street might be killing one individual, but the gangster in government house leading everybody astray. So I could sum it up how I want. The gangster in the street, you know, maybe killing one person at a time, you know. But the gangsters in government house and in the Senate, you understand, is destroying and have been destroying this community for a very long time. I can recall within my life in the Virgin Islands where there have been government that care about the Virgin Islands. I can't recall it. In my 55 years, I've lived in the Virgin Islands now for 43 years. And within the 43 years, I can't remember no government that cared about the people of the Virgin Islands. Otherwise, they would have turned the situation around already. They have enough federal resources that has come to these Virgin Islands to change this place around. And listen, you may not be able to change it to the fullness, but when you're in political power, right, in a community, you should push the envelope as far as you could push it for the members of the community. Don't just go along with the status quo. Rastafari.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak? Oh, okay. Oh, one moment. Also, someone lost their glasses as they were checking in. We have your glasses, okay? Can you hear me? Someone lost their glasses when they were checking in, so we have your glasses.
Good afternoon. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Charlita Schuster. I'm not here to advertise my business or anything like that. I'm here to share with you some moments of things that happened to me, my family, as well as my community. I live in Estate Carlton, and Estate Carlton was an extremely quiet, nice community. Was that. Everybody know everybody. The kids played together and fought fights together. They come home with a little black guy, a little scratch. What happened to you? So what you do to him? Okay. Go put some ice on that. Sit down, have something to eat. Each neighbor calling each other up. Yeah, the boys had a fight. All right, we'll talk it over. They'll be okay tomorrow. They're good. They're okay. That's how it was. It was. Within this year, 4 people got murdered in Estate Carlton. My closest neighbor, son, my other neighbor's son, a young man working on his job, broad daylight, their son, and another young man further down the road, he was murdered too. Not only that, my own family had tragedy years ago when my sister-in-law was murdered in St. Thomas from her boyfriend. So I have been through it. Just because I do the things I do in this community, don't think I'm all happy-go-lucky and everything like that. Don't think that this organization has saved my family in many different ways. I know I took counseling through the Women's Coalition to rebuild my life, to understand what is going on. I make sure that I try to be a part of it as much as I possibly can. And when I can't, I do whatever little bit I can. I make sure that I'm part of it. What's happening here today with these empty seats and all of that stuff, and I hearing everybody talking, and it's the truth. What you're saying is the truth. It is the truth. Where are the senators? Where are the people elected? Where's that? But we have to make a lot more noise, and we're not making enough noise. We're only doing it once a year, and it's not working like that. We have to do it every single day. It has to be something every single day that our voices are being heard, and it's not being heard enough. The Women's Coalition can't do it alone. When I was in trouble, I reached out to a very good friend of mine, which is sitting right over here, Dr. Chen. And I pleaded with her, and I told her certain things weren't going right with me in the community. And she told me, she gave me wisdom, and she gave me words. Shalita, this is what you have to do to be heard. You can't go around doing it this way or that way. There's certain protocols you have to do. And when I put those protocols in place, my voice started being heard. And people started respecting what I was all about. The Women Coalition cannot walk alone, everybody. They cannot walk alone. And that is the problem. We cannot just gather once a year, twice a year. We can't do this. If we want change in our community, if we want the violence to stop, we have to make noise every day of the week. Every single day of the week. When we wake up in the morning, we're making noise. We call in the radio station, and we call in, good morning. It's about the murder we heard yesterday. Let's stop right here and talk about that. That's what you have to do. Because if we don't start making noise and we start naming the senators and naming the people in place and letting them know, we're not voting for you again. Say it on the radio. Call the number. Call the number. That's what you got to do. We're sitting around too much. I can't do it alone. They can't do it alone. We can't just say, oh, so-and-so passed away. No, they didn't pass away. They were murdered. Use the right word. They were killed. Enough is enough. I've been to so many funerals for young people. Long time ago, we used to bury just our old. We're not doing that no more. Our old is burying our young. And I have a son. I love my son to death. And I have a very handsome grandson, too. And there's not a day I don't worry about them. I'm afraid for them to go to the store or just to go down the road or just to even go to work. I'm scared for my sons because they're my life. But for heaven's sakes, can't we just live in peace? And who is teaching these young boys these things? And it's not only the young men, the girls are doing it too. So don't act like women are not picking up weapons. They are. They are picking up weapons. And they're using it. And they're our neighbors, our best friends, their children doing it to this community. So this is what I had to say because I'm hurting. And to see my neighbors, one at a time, in less than a year, bury their sons was just heartbreaking. And there's nothing I could do or say to make them happy. But we have to bound together and do it every single day.
Anyone else?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Peggy Franco, and I work for the Department of Public Works, as well as I'm responsible for the burial for the whole island of St. Croix. I'm the one that gives you the permit to lay your loved ones to rest. I am tired
of our young youth filling up this graveyard. They are our future. There's more dead youth than they are elders. This is crazy. I deal with death 5 days a week. It's not easy. I'm a mother. I'm a daughter. I love my community. But this has to stop. I feel this every day. It's hard. I take it home. But you know what? I pray to God and I leave it at the foot of the cross. But until we do not buckle down and do what needs to be done, because back in the days, we couldn't do none of this stuff. My son, we getting tan over here. Mr. Rogers coming with the board and stay, get back in your class. You understand? Back in the days, you can stay home. You sleep with your door them unlocked. Back in the day when you arguing, one on one, hand in hand, we didn't have guns. Hand in hand. Now, they're picking up gun. Let me say this. Anybody can pick up a gun. That's a punk man move. But takes a real person to talk out your situation and work it out without violence. I do not want to see you at my job, because when I see you, I know it's about death and to lay your loved ones to rest. This got to stop. Pray for our U.S. Virgin Islands. Thank you.
A blessed good afternoon to all. And from my family to yours, we are here to support you because we've walked that road. And sometimes it's hard for many people in the community to understand what we're going through. Because my grandparents always say, you never pass judgment on someone unless you were able to walk a mile in their shoes. And as a mother and as a healthcare provider in this agency and in this community, my phone rang after 2 in the morning. It's the 911 dispatcher calling me and saying, 27 Alpha, all your ambulances are out. 5 people shot down on the boardwalk. And woe and beyond, I said to my husband that's standing here behind of me, there's 5 people down, and he's also a medic. I said, so I'm gonna need an extra hand, and I need you to go with me. And so we went. And what did we see? And the first person we saw when we got there was my son. So if you take a look to my chest, Blaine might not be here in this world, but as long as I live and I breathe, he lives and he carries on. So I'm just here to let everybody know we gotta get together. The government ain't gonna get together with us. What happens is when somebody dies, somebody passes, you hear everybody start to talk about these young men, these young women, how bad they were, what could have been done, what they've done. And like one person said, whoever come and say, hey, neighbor, you know your son down the road doing this or that, you know, nobody does that. Where have we gone away where it takes a community or a village to raise a child? And I just want to be there to be a support for anybody that needs a support, anybody that wants somebody to talk to. And you know, since my son passed, I only been to one of these things, and I think it was the same year he passed, because this makes 6 years. I haven't cried, and I haven't mourned. And I have a staff member that's here, and somebody sent me a text that this was going on. And I says, I might be hurt, I'm not broken, I need to stand up, I need to bond with other mothers like myself, so that we can start a movement and start moving through this territory. And guys, that's what I'm here for today. The government gonna always be the government. There's always conspiracy theory. They come and they tell you all kind of things so that they could get in. And then when they get in, they have their own agenda. But it's always gonna be our agenda to take care of our children. God bless.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? And we can move forward with the program. Anyone else? Okay, at this time, we have a couple of musical tributes. And we're going to start with Tuscany, Revolutions, and Jaroni. And then we'll have a solo from Tuscany.
Good afternoon. It's an honor to be here with everybody. It's very heartfelt to hear everybody's story related to loved ones lost. I haven't lost a child, but I am a father, I am a parent. So no matter what, I'm going to feel your pain because we are a community here, you know. Jaroni Revolution will be able to join me this afternoon, but did they hear in spirit? Yes, I. So I got 2 tunes for you. One's called What's Going On, and it's actually about what's going on. So just listen to the words. Bang, bang, another one gone. Bang, bang, another one gone. Bang, bang, another one gone. Everybody want to know your brethren so. Grab your children inside, grab your door and lock your windows. Killers on the loose, murderers on the run, Babylon on the run. Try to catch a gunman down. Youth man, what's going on? Try to stick to them school. So yo, here we go. Another one gone. Another one gone. Yeah, yeah. Oh. What's going on? What's going on? Whoa, I must say, what's going on? Yeah. Grab your children inside. Lock your doors and your windows. Killers on the loose. Murderers on the run, Babylon on the run. Try to get your gunman down. What's going on? Hey! Yes, I walk with the Father. Yes, I walk with Him. Yes, I walk with the Father. Yes, I walk with Him. So much senseless killing going on. Yeah. VI, what going on? We got to do better. Grab your children inside. Lock your doors and your windows. Killers on the loose. Murderers on the run. Babylon on the run. Try to catch a gunman down. VI massive, what's going on? Before the family know, VI Consortium, Facebook know it all. Oh Lord, no respect for the family, let them mourn for the gone. Oh have to pray for all my brethren, them, especially for myself. Envy, animosity, grab your children inside. Lock your doors and your windows. Killers on the loose. Murderers on the run. Babylon on the run. Try to catch a gunman down. VI massive, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Bang, bang, another one down. Bang, bang, another one down. Whoa. Yes, sir. Give thanks, man. It's a serious thing because we all affected by it. Whether the bullets land in front of your doorsteps or your neighbor house, you know. Hey, we are going to feel it. This next tune, yeah. Leave your machine and squeeze your queen. Leave your machine and squeeze your queen. Oh, save a life. It's quiet outside, full moon on the rise. Cause the streets been kinda wild, don't know who to trust. Leave your machine and squeeze your queen. Oh, you might save a life. I said, baby, got to go. She said, baby, please don't go. I got a call from the block. They want some more high-grade papa. Phone call hours later, gunshot man down. They say they take a man life. That could have been I. She saved my life. Friends too far. You know how this story goes. Money got a way of changing people. Man, I shot you for a dime. Leave your machine and squeeze your queen. Oh, you might save a life. Leave your machine. Squeeze your queen. Squeeze your queen. You might save a life. It's sad. So much hate, panic, and cause your gold shine more brighter. They might wait for you in the dark. Friends too far. You know how this story goes. Money got a way of changing people. Man, I shot you for a dime. Leave your machine. Squeeze your queen. Squeeze your queen. Fellas, put on the gun, man. I had to run the streets and leave our wife at home. But they didn't want her to run the streets because sometimes I don't come back home. And you ain't got to be a bad man to have a gun. But it's crazy. A lot of good people right now picking up guns, but it's scared. So now you got this kind of shift in balance of those that got illegals and those are trying to get the legal to protect the family. And I could tell you, because I overs. But as a community, we got to come together. You see the quilt that was made here. So much names. Them names was in my hand last night, helping my wife. It hurt my heart. The Tawani birthdays today. You know what I'm saying? Some not make it to the heartstrings tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So leave your machine. Squeeze your queen. My name's Toscani. Just a little something of what's going on because we all affected. Leave your machine and squeeze your queen. Oh. Leave your machine and squeeze your queen. Squeeze your queen. Yeah, yeah, oh. Leave your machine. Squeeze your queen. There's more to life than bragging rights. Yeah, man, hold it down. Yeah, you are blood high, my son. Talk it out. Back in the days, man could have fight it out. Like a man I fight with 20 years ago, and we don't heal up like nothing today. I can't do that today. Easy. Rest in peace, all the loved ones gone. My name Toscani. Cuban Empress song.
Please show me the way. Turn out the light right now. Let it shine bright day. Just put me down on my knees and teach me to pray. Everlasting Father, I'm begging you, please, rid this world of violence. Oh Lord, please hear my cry. At every time I hear the news, someone died. Oh Lord, goodbye. Why I ask this question? Why? Right now I'm hungry and cold. Hungry and cold. Can't take this violence no more. A next man's skull bone. A next man's skull bone. And I can't take it no more. Your work I adore, I can't take it no more. Oh Lord, I'm on my bending knee. We need you more and more in times like these. I'm begging you, please, break this world of violence.
Thank you. Thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you. So it's come to my attention that Senator Genevieve Whitaker is present. Senator Whitaker, would you like to say a few words?
Good evening, everyone. I know today is a real solemn day, you know, and sure. Let's come forward. Okay. Yeah, no, today is not. It's a real solemn day, and I come. Today's a real solemn day, and I want to express, on behalf of myself, my members of my staff, today being a day that we take the time to remember those. All of you out here, I sympathize with you. To all those who are reeling every day, reflecting on their loved one. So as we join nationally in remembering a real difficult day, we take this time to honor those we've lost. And I want to thank the Women's Coalition for organizing this event as a reminder to the work that continues to be done and the work that needs to be done. As a senator, I continue to do my best, because when we talk about crime and violence, it has a lot to do with also with prevention. So I'm not going to speak for long. I just wanted to take this opportunity to really express to each and every one of you, those who are also listening, that we sympathize with you, we pray for you, we remember and honor those. And so and these days are really important. I do hope as we continue to grow that these days become with more participation and more effort in terms of people coming out to honor this day. So again, thank you for the opportunity to speak, and I want to continue to thank those and just continue to pray for those, because we are all impacted by violence, and to do our part to ensure that we're going to end this, the solving of the crimes, and most importantly, the healing that needs to be necessary. So the spirituality in this as well. So blessings, love, and I come with peace. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator Whitaker.
For representing. Before we close, I just want to thank you all for being here and helping us keep this movement moving forward, and for sharing your love for your loved ones. I want to thank once again, the Mestica Franco family for the memorial quilt that will be hanging in our new building right next door to our present one very shortly. So we really appreciate this. And we pray that we don't have to add any more names to the quilt. Thank you, quilt sponsors, Divine Funeral Home, James Funeral Home, and Jolly Rogers. Thank you, Selectress Empress I and Selectress CC Flava of Alkebulan, Empress Sounds. Thank you to the U.S. Virgin Islands Department of Agriculture for letting us hold space, to the U.S. Virgin Islands Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault Council, to the U.S. Virgin Islands Police Department, to the U.S. Virgin Islands Department of Health, to the Women's Coalition of St. Croix, and the National Day of Remembrance of Murder Victims Committee. At this time, I would like to give the mic to Dr. Chinzira Davis Kahina to close us, and then the Empress Sounds are just going to lull us out of here. Thank you. Oh, yes, and thank you, oh my God. Thank you to the Government Access Channel for recording this for all the people who did not show up to see. They can watch and cry at home in the comfort of their sofa. Okay. Thank you, sir.
I appreciate. Okay. Is it possible for everyone to just stand together, or like 6 feet apart? We would have liked a circle, but if we can at least stand together and just hold space. I'll ask most humbly again. Okay, one more time. Okay, then let's do that. There's going to be a second opening and unveiling of this illustrious, majestic quilt shared on this 14th anniversary of the National Day of Remembrance for Murder Victims, right here on II St. Croix, as sponsored and hosted by the Women's Coalition of St. Croix. This is where the ideas come together so we can navigate how fast we read, right? Because it's a lot of names. And if you just scan the entire quilt, I guarantee there's going to be 5 names you know, at least. There's over 600. Yeah, right there. Yeah, in that first portion. And while you're reading and seeing this beautiful quilt, we are asking, as has been shared by many of the families and friends that have shared tributes, if you see something, say something. And if you're going to say it, do it fearlessly and unapologetically. Reflection. Every one of those names, every single one of those names. Saying Croix.
They are gone, but never forgotten.
Hi, my name is Namar Allen. I'd like to say something. Stop killing innocent people.
Thank you. Thank you, Princess. With that, if we could please, we cannot do quite a circle unless we do keep our distance. Right, thank you. If we can create a gathering where everyone is comfortable in terms of space as we close out. And just, again, as we started, we want to take a very deep breath and call on our, I'm going to say it again, I'm going to wait, because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of energy. We're calling on our Mother, Father, Creator by all names. Call all those names. Yahweh, Jehovah, those that refer to the Elohim, those that say, Obatala, those that say Oludumare, those that say Netera, those that say Jah Rastafari. Call on those names, so that our souls, our heart, our mind, our body, our spirit can allow for us to walk in strength, on this anniversary, a very solemn anniversary, yet an anniversary of the birth of a child, as we're honoring National Day of Remembrance of murder victims. We are supposed to be here at a time of weakness, yes, a time of hurt and sorrow, yes, a time with tears that are tears no longer of sorrow and anxiety, but tears of strength, because we are calling on every single element in the womb-niverse. I did not say universe intentionally. I'm saying from the womb-niverse. We're calling on God, Yahweh, Jehovah, Obatala, Oludumare, Allah, all those Netera, all those names to keep us and hold our heart as light as is possible. For those that know the term of Ma'at, but I'm going to say it in English, in truth, in justice, in order, in reciprocity, balance, divine righteousness, and harmony. We cannot have peace without harmony. The violence will continue without harmony. The violence will continue if we don't do something, not just say something, not just see it, but you have to do something. And we're asking our Almighty Mother, Father, Creator, by all the names we use. Don't get twisted because I carry an ankh and you wear a cross. Don't get twisted because some of us cover our hair and you choose to wear it out. Don't get twisted by the clothes that we wear. Focus on the heart. Focus on the heart and the sacred intention that's given as we give these words of strength, these words of power, on every single family connected to those 600 plus names on that quilt. 600! Imagine what that would look like inside of this space. We talk about there's not presence. Every single one of those names and at least 1,000 of their family members connected to them are in this space. And they're present. And they are eternal. And their memories are forever and ever 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 and ever. With that, we ask for strength. We extend abundant life, strength, health, wellness, and prosperity to everyone present. And whoever need to get caught up, to get catch for what they've done, fireman pan without apology. Anger with a just cause is ma'at. And we call on that, and we ask for Almighty Mother, Father, Creator, to keep our hearts, our soul, our mind, our body in the balance. Can I get an amen? Duo and terror.